speech. Sorry. So we want additional counsel who has expertise in the decisions that we made and the recommendations that are coming down from the other two lawyers that represent our insurance company. It should be somewhat innocuous, right? All we're asking for is a second opinion, if you will. And in order to best do that, Ty should be in the meeting to hear what he says and be able to ask questions to make sure that the recommendations that they're making are agreed upon. As many of you know, lawyers can disagree. That's why we have the judicial system that we have. It goes up through the Supreme Court. Many times the Supreme Court overrules lower court. So we just want to have a well-rounded legal representation that can make sure that what's the path forward is correct.
So all four of you know, all four of you knew that this attorney was in the waiting room waiting to be let into this meeting. All four of you know how much this is going to be costing the school board and district prior to the meeting. And all four of you know this is not a publicly noticed action by the board.
Retaining counsel is not an action.
Well, voting on it is.
Well, and retaining actually is, because the act of contacting and telling them to be at the meeting, that is an action. So are you sure it's not?
Is there any further discussion?
I
We
really
still haven't heard
don't.
from Renee.
Yeah, we still haven't heard from Renee.
I have no comment at this time.
Is there any further discussion?
Right. Dave, do you have anything? You're muted, by the way.
I think with everything that's, happened, it's definitely a really troubling time, for our board, just, keeping it specific right here. And I think, when we're looking at the range of people who've called in and made threats for legal issues, that there definitely has to be a lot of protection right here to make sure that as we're moving forward, however this turns out, that we're protected. Maybe you don't feel that way because of the way you vote or something like that. But for me, it's like, I know as board chair, getting, people filing complaints against the school district and things like that, that having some further representation and also having another set of eyes on, everything we're going through is not a bad thing. And this is not expensive.
It is. It's $300 an hour. How many hours have you already retained him? And how many hours is this going to cost? And who is it going to help you for?
Yeah, I'm not interested in paying for individual legal fees. This isn't about the board at this point. This is about the four of you facing legal repercussions for making illegal votes. And I'm not interested in footing that bill, and neither should the district.
Well, it wasn't an illegal vote, and it's not. So, but again,
I think it makes sense for you to retain legal counsel, Dave.
If we approve this motion, he will be legal counsel for the board.
So that means we can meet with him as well, and he will have to represent our views as well.
He will represent the board as an entity.
I look forward to having an individual meeting with the attorney to ensure that my views are also represented in that representation.
Sure.
But what budget category are we taking this out of athletics? Are we taking this out of science, out of band? Where are we taking this money from?
there's legal budget, Rebecca.
There is not. There
Yes,
is not.
Yes, there is.
We have legal counsel that we have already earmarked, but we don't have money for additional legal counsel.
All
We
right.
have budgeted about $36,000 per year for legal counsel. So however we choose to spend that is how we choose to spend that. So it could be through the lawyers are going to speak tonight, or it could be through Tyler Smith.
But you don't even know what the lawyers are going to speak tonight.
We don't.
So then why
But-
would you bring somebody else without having even heard what these lawyers have to say? I don't get it.
Do you know how many different people are making accusations out in the district right now?
Absolutely. I know how many because I'm reading all the emails.
Yeah. So having another set of eyes on all this is only another good way for us to stay balanced in our
Balanced? We
approach.
aren't balanced.
I'm going to call the question. All those in favor of calling the question?
Wait, according to policy, we continue, the discussion can continue until everyone is satisfied. I'm not satisfied with the reasoning you have to give for this vote.
Per our policy, we can vote to end debate. That's what call the question means. So all those in favor of calling the question, please raise your hand and vote aye.
Somebody has to make a motion and second, and then we
That
vote.
is not how it works. It's a
Okay, I
parliamentary procedure.
forgot, Vice Chair, that you're running the meeting tonight. I'll listen to you.
All those in favor of calling the question, raise your hand and vote aye.
Can you
All
say
those in
who,
favor,
can you-
the debate has ended. Director Burrows.
can you identify who voted yes?
Yes.
He
Oh,
can-
and I'm sorry, I need to call the no's. Shannon, Powell, Brown, and Dayhart voted aye. All those opposed to calling the question? All right. Directors Penner, Pena, and Pyrus voted no. The measure passes. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and vote aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, can I get a restatement of the motion, please?
Is to retain Ty Smith of Ty Smith and Associates as supplemental legal counsel for the board.
Well, I hope one of the first things you can advise board members on is what happens when you break public meeting laws.
We are simply hiring an attorney to go into a meeting about legal woes. So I don't think it's a problem. All right. Are you good, Jen?
I did not get the vote on that final one.
I'm going to call it again.
Thank you.
All right. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, vote aye.
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 The yeses were Shannon, Powell, Brown, and DeHart. All those opposed, please raise your hand and vote nay.
Nay.
The nays are Penner, Pena, and Pyrus. Measure passes. Will you please allow Mr. Smith into the meeting?
Give me one moment, please.
Vice Chairman Shannon, that wasn't what the lawyer suggested because of clientele privacy.
Well, he's now retained as our attorney, so we also have client attorney privilege with him now.
While we wait, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to ask Karen and Terry, but what are some of the repercussions for violating public meeting laws of not notifying public when motions are to be taken by the board and not having the public in attendance? If it's a quick answer, if not, I will potentially talk to our new legal counsel about that.
I think that's probably something we should discuss at a different time, and I would appreciate it if we go into executive session now to discuss the matter that I have been retained by PACE to work with you on.
The school board will now meet in executive session for the purpose of consulting with legal counsel concerning the legal rights and duties of the Newberg School Board of Directors with regard to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed. The executive session is held pursuant to ORS 1992.6602H, which allows the board to meet in executive session to consult with legal counsel. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the conference call. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or record any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in executive session except for student expulsion. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session. I now call us into executive session.
Very good. All right, thank you very much.